Have you ever heard of ghostly doubles? Those eerie copies of ourselves that appear beside us, defying all explanation? Throughout history, many famous figures have faced the chilling phenomenon known as the doppelganger. Shadowy reflections identical to themselves, often heralding doom and tragedy. From President Abraham Lincoln's two-faced mirror vision, to the powerful Empress Catherine the Great, haunted by a phantom on her throne, and even the genius writer Goethe, who once encountered his own double on the street. Join me as we unravel these spine-tingling tales and shocking theories about a phenomenon that stretches beyond human understanding. Get ready to step into a world where the line between reality and the invisible dark blurs, and where ghostly doubles silently watch your every move. The term doppelganger originates from German, combining the words doppel, double, twin, and gänger, goer, walker, meaning double walker or double companion. However, unlike the image of a friendly companion, the doppelganger carries a far more eerie and mysterious meaning. It is an exact supernatural double of a person's appearance, but not an ordinary individual or a coincidental look-alike as in the concept of a dead ringer. Instead, a doppelganger is a ghostly entity, a mysterious presence that often appears unexpectedly and unwanted. In European folklore and occult literature, especially in Germany and Scandinavia, seeing one's own doppelganger is considered a grave omen, often regarded as a premonition of death. The image of a doppelganger is typically associated with unavoidable disasters, illness, accidents, or mental collapse. Some believe that a doppelganger is a kind of detached soul that manifests when the person is in danger or undergoing intense inner turmoil. Others view it as an illusory creature created by dark forces to deceive and harm humans. What makes the doppelganger truly terrifying is that it is not only seen by others. In many cases, the person themselves may witness their own double. Stories often describe someone suddenly seeing themselves performing strange actions elsewhere, or standing at a distance with a hollow, cold expression. Some legends say that if someone sees their doppelganger, they will die shortly afterward, a notion that deepens the eerie and ominous nature of the concept. From a modern psychological perspective, seeing oneself in this way can be explained as a rare hallucination linked to neurological disorders or extreme paranoia. However, within the realm of the unexplained, the doppelganger continues to hold a powerful, frightening fascination. It is not merely a soulless double, but a symbol of the dark side within every person, the forgotten part of the soul, reflecting the deepest fears. In summary, the doppelganger is not simply a shadowy look-alike, but an entity connected with death, misfortune, and inner division. Whether appearing in folklore or modern horror fiction, the image of the double companion always sends shivers down the spine because of its uncanny familiarity, as if one is looking into a warped mirror of fate itself. One of the most famous and mysterious stories related to the doppelganger phenomenon occurred in 1845 at a prestigious girls' school in Latvia, Pensionat von Novelke. The main figure was Emilie Sagée, a 32-year-old French teacher, gentle and highly skilled, with an engaging teaching style beloved by her students. However, alongside her excellence was an inexplicable and eerie phenomenon: the repeated appearance of a double, a doppelganger, who looked exactly like Emilie but was clearly not her. The phenomenon first caught the attention of students and colleagues when they began to see two Emilie Sagées simultaneously in situations that defied explanation. On one occasion, while Emilie was lecturing at the blackboard, several students were shocked to see another figure, identical to her, standing next to the board, mimicking her every gesture, as if writing, though it held no chalk. At first, people thought it was an illusion or imagination, but the frequency and clarity of the doppelganger's appearances increased so much that no one could deny the strange reality unfolding. Another incident that stirred rumors was when Emilie was eating lunch with other teachers in the dining hall, while her doppelganger appeared in the classroom, sitting quietly behind the students, silently observing. The students turned around in astonishment and fear, seeing two Miss Emilies at two different places at once. This ghostly double not only stood still, it sometimes moved, imitating Emily's actions, yet at other times acted independently, disconnected from the original's behavior. What was particularly strange was that Emilie Sagée herself never saw her doppelganger. However, whenever it appeared, she felt extremely fatigued, as if part of her life energy was being drained. Once, when the doppelganger stood behind her as she wrote on the board, nearby students noted that Emilie looked exhausted, her hands trembling, almost unable to stand. This mysterious connection between Emilie's physical condition and the double's presence led many to believe it was not a mere hallucination, but a true supernatural event. Over 40 students witnessed Emilie's doppelganger multiple times within a short period. Some even approached closely to observe and confirmed that the figure cast no shadow in the light, as if it were not a living person. The accounts grew increasingly chilling, creating an unsettling atmosphere that spread throughout the school. Teachers avoided discussing the matter, but internally, everyone was anxious. Parents, hearing their children's stories at home, grew alarmed and began filing complaints with the school. Eventually, pressure from parents and concerns over the school's reputation forced the administration to make a decision. Despite Emilie's excellence as a teacher, she was quietly dismissed from Pensionat van Nieuwelke, leaving behind waves of turmoil, obsession, and an unsolved mystery. Notably, before joining this school, Emilie had worked at 18 other schools, never staying long in any of them. This fueled suspicions that her doppelganger had been appearing long before and was likely the cause of her repeated dismissals, despite no fault in her professional conduct. Emilie Sagée's story was most thoroughly documented by a former student, Julie van Guldenstubbe, who personally witnessed these strange occurrences during her time at the school. She recounted every detail with seriousness and conviction, making Emilie Sagée's case one of the most credible records of the doppelganger phenomenon in modern history. Not only Emilie Sagée, but throughout the centuries, many famous figures have witnessed or experienced the appearance of their own double, often accompanied by ominous warnings or unusual signs linked to fate. One of the most famous stories involving a doppelganger centers on Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who played a pivotal role in American history. Before beginning his second term, Lincoln was said to have seen a strange image in the mirror. According to his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, one evening as Lincoln stood before a mirror, she saw not just one face reflected but two. One face appeared normal, while the other was pale, wan, and gloomy, a chilling image that seemed to foretell death or tragedy. She perceived this as a terrifying omen for the future. Indeed, these premonitions proved true. During his second term, on April 14, 1865, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater, marking a tragic chapter in American history. Many believe that the pale face in the mirror symbolized the impending death, a supernatural warning appearing before the calamity. Lincoln's story of the twin faces in the mirror has become a symbol that doppelgangers are not just eerie phenomena, but also portentous signs of inevitable fate. Catherine the Great, the powerful and renowned empress of the Russian Empire, is also said to have had a mysterious encounter with a doppelganger. In her later years, she was haunted by an apparition or supernatural event in which she saw a figure exactly like herself sitting on the throne, the highest seat of royal power. Records state that Catherine ordered her guards to fire upon this figure, hoping to drive it away or destroy it. However, all attempts were futile. The apparition remained motionless and unharmed. Her inability to overcome this doppelganger was seen as a sign of weakening power and a warning of an unavoidable destiny. Shortly afterward, Catherine the Great passed away. Many believe that the doppelganger on the throne was an omen predicting her death and the end of her glorious reign. This story not only added to the mystique surrounding the Empress's life, but also highlighted the deep connection between power, downfall, and the invisible ghosts, mysterious doubles of oneself. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, the great German writer, poet, and philosopher, also recounted a strange encounter with his own doppelganger. While walking down a street, Goethe suddenly met a man who looked exactly like him. From head to toe, the man was dressed identically. What made this event extraordinary was not just the physical resemblance, but the fact that this same man had appeared 8 years earlier at the same location, wearing similar clothes. This uncanny experience led Goethe to deeply reflect on the concepts of time, reality, and destiny. Many analysts later suggested that Goethe's experience might represent an intersection between different timelines or parallel dimensions, places where a double version of a person could exist simultaneously with the original. This story opens hypotheses that doppelgangers are not merely ghostly shadows, but signs of phenomena beyond ordinary human understanding, involving the simultaneous existence of parallel realities or time loops. Despite numerous stories and legends surrounding the phenomenon, there remains no clear, consistent explanation for doppelgangers. Many hypotheses and theories have been proposed, attempting to explain their existence from perspectives ranging from the supernatural to modern science. In mystical and spiritual fields, doppelgangers are often seen as manifestations of the invisible world, reflecting intersections between different realities or the presence of immaterial entities. One popular hypothesis suggests that a doppelganger is a form of astral projection, an expression of very strong human thoughts or emotions, like an image projected from one's mind or soul into the physical world. This is considered a way for a person's spiritual energy to create an invisible copy that can move and mimic the actions of its original. Some researchers relate this phenomenon to the Mandela effect, a cognitive phenomenon showing that certain memories differ or change from reality. According to the parallel reality hypothesis, doppelgangers may represent overlaps or intersections between timelines or parallel dimensions. In other words, when these realities intersect, a person's image may exist simultaneously in multiple versions, causing the living to perceive or actually see their own double appear in real life. Additionally, in certain folklore and popular beliefs, doppelgangers are regarded as evil spirits or higher spiritual entities of humans. Some view them as detached souls or haunting beings that warn of bad luck, disasters, or death. According to these traditions, the appearance of a doppelganger is not a good omen, but is often linked to misfortune or tragedy. From the viewpoint of modern science, doppelganger phenomena are explained using physiological and psychological approaches. Some scientists argue that seeing a double of oneself or others may stem from hallucinations caused by abnormal brain stimulation. Such cases often occur when the brain is under extreme stress, fatigue, or psychological pressure. Certain neurological disorders, like autoscopic phenomena, can cause a person to see a double image of themselves as if facing a copy. These hallucinations may be triggered by chemical imbalances in the brain, drug effects, or neurological damage. Moreover, some studies indicate that seeing a doppelganger can be associated with near-death experiences or severe health conditions. It is noted that this phenomenon sometimes occurs shortly before death, leading many to believe that a doppelganger might be a warning sign marking the transition between life and death. Interestingly, both supernatural and scientific explanations can coexist without fully disproving each other, reflecting the complexity and multidimensionality of the doppelganger phenomenon. While science continues to investigate brain states and unexplained hallucinations, Spiritualists emphasize the connection between mind, soul, and other dimensions. The appearance of a doppelganger is not merely a strange occurrence, but also a reminder of the limits of human knowledge, unexplored realms of spirituality, and the vast universe. It sparks curiosity and raises profound questions about our true nature and the multidimensional existence of humans across space and time. Doppelgangers have been documented in many historical accounts as well as modern experiences. Yet their true nature and purpose remain a great mystery. From haunting tales of famous figures to strange everyday phenomena, doppelgangers are often associated with ominous signs or even warnings of death. Thus, this phenomenon is not just a coincidence, but carries a mystical power that commands caution and respect. There is a saying, "Be very careful when looking into a mirror, for a doppelganger may suddenly appear, an eerie omen of impending misfortune." This serves as a reminder of the fragile boundary between reality and the unseen world, where ghostly doubles quietly exist, silently watching our lives unfold.